we are not. So there is so much opportunity out there. And so thrilled that Carmen is going to, here she is, hop on with us and share a little bit, kind of debunk, is that what they say? Like that, yeah, because I'm kind of over that. Are you guys over that? Yes, okay. Hey, Carmen.
Hey, where are you guys at?
Kansas City, girlfriend.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm in San Francisco at the Level 5 trip. So we had no wine yesterday whatsoever. As a matter of fact, you know, my favorite thing to do is always the day after is to look at my phone and see what pictures are in there. Always some pictures you're like, whoa, when did we take this? I don't remember that. Anyways, I hope everybody's having a great time and learning a lot. And so Stephanie asked me to come up and share this about saturation and penetration. And, you know, it's hard for people to sometimes perceive that that is true, that we're not saturated. But I wanted to ask you, before I go into some numbers, I wanted to ask you, how many of you have over 100 PC customers directly to you?
No one.
No one, right? So there's still so much opportunity. And what I'm going to share with you, I'm not going to put the numbers on the screen. I'm going to put some other information later on the screen. I'm just going to give you the average number of, not consultants, but number of women over the age of 18 in the 3 specific states. And then what I do is I divide that by the average number of consultants and give you a ratio of how many PC customers each of them should have to be saturated. Okay, because that's going to give you an idea what's going to happen out there. So maybe it's that your circle, you're saturated within your circle because you know everybody that does redundant fields, but you just haven't expanded outside of that circle, and it seems like you haven't expanded. You keep trying, but it's got to be, again, something that's consistently happening in your business on a daily basis. So I'm going to get my numbers here. But in the state of Colorado, how many consultants do you think we have in the state of Colorado?
5,000.
Okay, it's a little bit more than that, but the adult population of women over 18 in the state of Colorado is a little bit over 2 million. And so if I take the number of consultants, that means that each consultant has to service almost 300 PCs in order for us to be saturated in that market. Now, nobody's even close to 100, right? So there's still a lot of opportunity. So if there's 2+ million women over the age of 18, and we only have about 5,000 to 7,000 consultants, we're not saturated. There's still a lot of opportunity out there. How about in the state of, let's see, my next state is Kansas. How many consultants do you think we have in the state?
4,500. 4,500.
It's close to about 4,000. So in order for us to be saturated in the state of Kansas, you would have to each have 288 preferred customers, or we would have to have 1 million consultants plus in the state of Kansas. So there's still a lot of women there that need and can sell amazing skincare. Okay? And the numbers again that I'm giving you are people that are women over the age of 18. The last state is going to be Missouri. How many people do you think we have in Missouri?
3,000.
Huh?
7,000. 5,000.
Yeah, we have a lot more in Missouri, but still, we have close to 6,000 consultants in the state, and there's almost 2.5 million women over the age of 18. So in the state of Missouri, each consultant would have to sell to 420 preferred customers to be saturated. That's a lot, right? Think about it, 420 preferred customers in order to be saturated. Now, I would ask that I'm giving you this information for you to knowledge, but don't be printing this stuff anywhere because I'm giving you averages, right? It's not like the raw data, but it's just averages for you to get an idea of there is no saturation. But what I wanted also to think about is this. This next slide I'm going to share with you, and you can actually, it's been shared by the company publicly at training. So let me go back to that screen. Okay, here we go. So one of the things that I like to share always is I've been giving people this formula lately, but you know, you've seen this before. Have you guys seen this before? Can you see it? The easy legs? Okay. So on average, when somebody ECs, you get 33% retention within a year, up to 28% retention within 36 months. But at the level that's really high, it's level 2 and even level 1, right? But look at the retention rate for somebody who's a level 2 versus an EC. And I was actually speaking with an RFXer, and she said, when I started my business, I made level 5 right away. And I got into my Lexus and I had almost 92 EC Lex in my business. I'm like, yeah. But when you started the business, everybody was mostly coming into the Ultimate and the Core kit. That's where the 2 kits that they were coming in. So they automatically EC when they started the business, right? And then they were excited and they continued to bring some more people. But that duplication is not happening now like it was before, especially this year where the kit mix has switched. And so I would tell you that in my region, when I first started with Rodan & Fields, my kit mix, I'm talking about the percentages that people came in, the personal portfolio kit was my lowest ever. That was my lowest kit that we ever sold. It was like 18%. I had close to 65% on the Ultimate and the Core kit. So you knew that those people were ECing, people were moving up, right? Because that was the highest percent of my new consultants coming into the business. When that kit mix changes, and now we have a customized, or we have a 45 or 395 even, they don't EC as fast as they were before. And what is happening is it takes them longer to EC, or their preferred customers who are going to buy from you, but now that they're EC, they don't have to buy from you because they bought a kit, they got products, and they're going to not order from you now for 6 months. So your preferred customers might be going down, but you're not getting any traction because they're now consultants, but they're not buying as often as they were before. And they're getting it at a discount too. So that's an erosion that if you really want to help your team grow and EC faster, we got to do a better way and get more language or more creative language on how to really maximize on the Ultimate and the Core kit so that people that come on board see the value of it, and then your consultants can start ECing at a faster pace or moving more traction into the business. Because when you bring one PC, I'll show you something here in a second. When you bring one PC, is it this slide? Yeah, okay. One PC every month, one consultant every month, and 4 PCs, you get new org volume of $1,000 on average, right? An EC org volume is about 700 on average. A PC is about 80 to 100. So when you do that consistently every month, you get $1,000 in org volume. Now think about this. If you get 6 people in your team to do the same, times 6 months, that's a $36,000 org volume. If you have a small team, let's say you just have 5 people in your team and 2 are really engaged and are working it with you, that's 3 people getting 1 new consultant and 4 PCs every month. That's an org volume of $3,000 every month that you can start incrementing, not incremental org volume, that you got people to promote. And I know that not everybody's going to stay in the business. I mean, direct sales is a business that we have a high turnover, but that's what's so important, to continue to bring more and more new people so you have fresh blood to work with and not dragging people that don't want to do anything in the business. And then you're kind of like constantly trying to resuscitate them. That takes so much energy. I mean, think about somebody who is with oxygen in their mouth. You can't take them as fast as you want to go because you're always putting that oxygen for them to continue to do the business. Instead of somebody that has no preconceived ideas, that's excited, that wants to lead the way, that might be excited about earning a car. Those folks are more excited, and those are the people that I want to work with. The people that are driven, that want to go, not the ones that are going to continue to drag me down. They're important, don't get me wrong. But the thing is, they're not going to be as proactive and as engaged as the ones that you're bringing brand new, that are your babies. So that's why we say the first 90 days of consultants are the most important 90 days, because that's when they're babies, like having a baby, right? They're the babies, they want to learn, they want to grow, and we just really have to keep them with us those first 90 days to help them grow. Now, if you're enrolling 20 people a month, that would be hard, but I know that we're not enrolling 20 people a month, right? We're on average just about 1 to half, and sometimes it's 0. So right now it's just enrolling 1 person and bringing 4 preferred customers for you, not people in your team, personally, you have to do it because the pace of the leader is the pace of the team. And if you're not doing it, guess what? Your team is not doing it. So here's some averages of what it takes on org volume. Sorry, I'm going to make it bigger so you guys can see it. So on average, an EC, it's $700. That's a total org volume per month. A level 1 is $2,200. And a level 2 is $4,200. That's the average org volume of each of those legs. So if you're losing a lot of ECs and you're not replacing them, every day when you wake up, let's say I lost 10 ECs this year. Every month when I first hit the button on August 1st, I have already been $70,000 under in my business, right? Because 10 times 700 is 70,000. Does that make sense? Right?
Yes.
So every day when I wake up, every month before I even start the month, I'm already behind. So I would look at my business and see how many ECs I have this year, how many level 1s, how many level 2s compared to last year at the same time. And if the numbers are a lot less, I got to start helping my people convert back on. Maybe I have level 1s that have been level 1s for a year or two, and those are the folks I need to move to level 2. Maybe I have ECs that have been ECs for 1 or 2 years, and I need to support them to become a level 1 while still continue to work my business, 1 consultant, 4 PCs a month. All right, I'm going to go right here now. Okay, here's the kit mix I was talking about to you guys. It used to be 18% my kit mix, $45, 10% $395, 30 to 35%, $695, $995. What happens when this kit mix goes the opposite way? Now I got 45% at $45, still 10%, but this one over here, it's now 18%, right? That's a huge difference. That means that I have to bring in 3 people at $395 to make up for the difference of my $995 or 2 for my difference on the $695. And if you multiply that every single month, it starts really building on where I have all these $45 people that are coming in just to get a discount. And, you know, I know sometimes we have the best intentions, but they want to customize their kit. If something's working, let's not change it to make sure that it keeps working, right? We can improve it, but let's just not change it. Because I think what I got feedback, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I would go to a BizUp and somebody would literally show me a spreadsheet with all the customized kit options she would give her people. And I would always kind of cringe and go you're doing yourself a disservice, because it's going to be a preferred customer that's going to buy all this stuff, but they're not going to continue. They're not going to recruit somebody else. I mean, some people do, but that's like a one-time wonders. There's not that many people in the room that sign up with the $45 kit and became an RFXer or became elite. You know, how many of you enroll with the $45 kit? Raise your hand if you enroll with a $45 kit.
We have 1.
See, so it's like a one-time wonder in any place that you go. It's like that.
I even reached out to Lindsay.
Yeah. So one-time wonder. So what are some suggestions that I gave everybody? Okay, it's Saturday. You guys have investing time to be here today, and you're working your business. You're still engaged. I will fire myself. This is from the CEO of Avon years ago. She fired herself on Friday and rehired herself on Monday. So think about when you started the business, how excited you were gung-ho, you would do anything, you know, you still do, but remember those first few weeks when you did it, right? So how do you relaunch your business and your team members? We're still in July. I mean, think about all those Christmas in July businesses that do stuff. Relaunch your business, especially now that it's still convention qualification month, right? Show the value of the $995 versus what we have now, a lot of $395s and $45 portfolio. Don't try to get your PCs to get discounted stays. I mean, at the end of the day, you're probably going to make more money from them in the long run if they're still your preferred customers than if they're consultants. If they want to do it, great. But on average, you're going to be losing money instead of making more money. As everyone, about the business. Ask anyone that you come in contact. Don't be afraid anymore. And I know you guys are leaders and you probably, but maybe things are eroded and you're not asking as many people as before because you already are level 5 or you already have a car. But anybody, and I tell this story all the time about when I was doing a fundraising for the Avon Breast Cancer Walk, you have to literally raise $1,800 to participate on the walk. And so I participated with corporate and they told me, we're going to give you some money. I'm like, oh, okay, I got some money from them. So I raised $300 on my own. They gave me $400. The day before the walk, I got the email. If you don't raise $1,800, you got to pay $1,800, which I didn't know. And I was so broke, I didn't have any money to pay the rest of the money. So I said, all right, I'm going to reach out to everybody. You guys, I took my phone and I texted every single person I knew on my phone. I put a thing about the walk. And I ended up raising $2,100 instead of $1,800. But I was in a desperate mode because I didn't want to pay it myself. Even though I believed so much on the cost, I didn't have the money and I didn't want to charge it on a credit card. And the person that I thought the least of, which I just took a leap of faith and I just sent it to my corporate broker, my realtor from the company, all my friends. The corporate broker gave me $500 for the walk. But I would have never known if I didn't ask, right? So in desperate measures, you ask everybody. So that's what I think. You got to ask everybody that you come in contact and don't ever judge. And one thing I'm going to leave you guys with, and I don't know how much time I have, Stephanie, but I want to leave with this kind of like analogy because, and you guys can see my screen, but I don't have to share that part because it's kind of like my notes. Anyways, you guys know this fitness journeys that I've been for since October. And I was working out and I was eating healthy. I would eat healthy Monday through Wednesday. And then somebody would come and say, oh, let's go have wine, right? Or I love white chocolate macadamia cookies. And so I would come in and like, oh, I'm eating healthy. Oh, I'm just going to have one cookie. And then somebody would be like, oh, we're going to go out for a pizza or there's a festival and it's all free wine. Oh, there goes my diet again, right? And I just couldn't get traction on what I wanted to do. And actually, I was scrolling through my phone the other and I found pictures of me 2 years ago and pictures of me like 10 years ago and then, on and off. But I committed myself for 6 weeks to stick to a program. And I found a coach because I think I could do the best by just reading and looking. I found a coach to hold me accountable, just like you guys do in the business. And for 6 weeks straight, I gave up no wine, no sweets, a program that was normal food to eat normal food. But then I exercised with a coach. So I was having somebody coaching me accountable and somebody giving me nutrition information accountable. And did it for 6 weeks straight because I was willing. I wanted to change where I was going. It was not only about how you look, but how you feel inside. And guys, I was going to bed early because I was getting up early to work out. I was exhausted from the workouts and all that. And it's not like I'm working out. Listen, it's not like I'm working out 3 hours a day. No, it was actually shorter, but it was very intense, right? I did it for 6 months. I accomplished my goal. Then I decided that I wanted to do something extra. Okay, now I'm really hooked to this. I want to get better at it. And I asked the coach, I want to get off the bike faster than the lady next to me. I don't want to be the last one getting off the bike. I want to do the rower better. I want to get stronger. So think about when you do the same thing over and over and over, your body kind of stays, status quo. There's no change, right? The same thing as our business. We're doing the same thing over and over, but we're not increasing or we're not like changing some of our skills. We're going to maintain the same thing. So if you really want to grow, I'm telling everybody, you got to practice the skills that you need to improve to grow your business. And it's not that you're going to now now I'm going to take 1 day full of training. I'm going to just massively do outreach or reach outs this week. That's not what I'm talking about. What the coach told me was you need to practice either before class or after class every day for 10 to 15 minutes. And that's going to help you consistently progress and improve in the skills that you want to improve. Because if you do it once every 2 weeks or once a month, you're never going to improve, right? So like if I only try to do like straight presses up with 25 pounds once a month, I'm not going to increase the strength of my body. I'm not going to be able to increase my output. But if I do it every single day, it gets better and better. And that one particular skill is going to help me in all these other exercises. So the same thing, if you are having trouble with language, maybe it's practicing with different people, different words, or maybe it's crafting your story in a different way or crafting your reach outs in a different way that gives you a better ROI. Like you can get better results. So ask a friend to listen to you. I mean, I ask friends all the time, like, was that presentation good or did I really suck? Like, was it good? And if your good friend is going to tell you, oh, you're wonderful, you're so good. Like, no, I want true feedback. Like, what can I improve on? So I would tell you, like, find 1 or 2 things that are going to improve in your business that you can practice 10 minutes every day. And maybe you skip one day, it's okay. But it's 10 minutes every day so you can perfect and craft a better story, a better way to reach out to people. Maybe it's a better way to promote your business on Instagram. Maybe it's a better way to attract people to come to your page. I don't know what is the one thing, but I know that the one thing that we're lacking is that face-to-face communication, that language, especially rookies in your team, you know, they struggle inviting people to events. And I'm like, what's so hard? She's like, I don't know. I'm just really nervous. I'm like, girlfriend, want to come have wine with me? I just started a new business and I would love to get your feedback on it. 45 minutes is max. We'll be there for 2 hours. We'll have wine appetizers. Come pick you up at 7. That work for you? That's very different than like, I just started my Rodan and Fields business and there's a business presentation and I need you to come with me. Would you like to come? They're going to say no, right? So you got to practice and practice and practice until it just becomes so natural from you to say it that it's just natural. It's just like having a conversation. And then people are going to be attracted and help you because it's about your connection with them. You can't have that connection through Messenger and through text. It just doesn't happen. So, any questions for me?
Carmen?
No?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
This is Sarah.
Yeah.
We talked before about, it was really powerful numbers that you shared before, something about how many level 5s, because it was like, I remember when we talked before in Missouri, I think there were 35 in all of Missouri and 30 were in St. Louis.
Yes.
You know, so I think that's super powerful too, if you have any of that on hand.
Yeah, I actually have it here, but I have it by state. So in the state of Colorado, we currently have, well, last time they printed this report, about 36 level 5. That doesn't include Premier, Elite, and RFX, just level 5s. That's what you're talking about, Sarah, right? Okay. In the state of Kansas, we have about 17.
In the whole state.
In the whole state of Kansas, yes.
Huge, right?
Yep. And in the state of Missouri, we have level 5. Here we go. 24.
And I think the majority, I mean, all but like 3 were in St. Louis or something like that.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull that up. Just give me 1 second.
Do you have the state of Nebraska?
Yes.
Yeah, I have all the states. Just give me a second. I just got to open up the file.
Isn't that shocking?
Yeah.
Okay, in the state of Nebraska. Sorry. The state of Nebraska, we have 7 level 5s.
Michigan?
Actually, no, sorry, 11. 11 level 5s. Yeah.
Iowa. How many in Iowa?
Okay. You want Iowa? Okay. I like that you're asking for those states because they're all my states. Okay, wait. Okay, in the state of Iowa, we have 12.
How about Michigan?
Michigan? You got people from everywhere there, huh? Yeah, so in Michigan, we have 37.
Do you know who's from there?
Yeah, well, Sarah LeBlanc, Sarah Robbins, Stacy Longo. Michigan was the first day that we started the business in, and also it's my second largest state in the region. So,
Carmen?
yeah.
I was just going to ask, because I know when you were saying how many consultants can we ask about those states, or is that too much data to provide? Like how many total Rodan and Fields consultants, like in Nebraska, Iowa?
Because you just, when you first talked to you, we only did the 3.
And she asked me for states, so I just narrowed it down for like
Yeah.
how many people are. I know the majority of the
Yeah.
attendance.
If
So
you think about it, like when they said 4,000 in Kansas, right, total?
Yeah, and you know, guys, I did this with South Dakota, North Dakota, Illinois, all the states that you guys are mentioning, Minnesota, and the averages are the same. On average, you will need to service 300 to 400 preferred customers to be saturated. You know, in my business when I was with Avon, I had 80,000 consultants, and we were not saturated either. Even in the state of New York, where it's so overpopulated, my biggest number of consultants in the state of New York, in the city of Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, that area, I'm not even talking the upstate, was about 12,000 consultants. So no direct selling company saturated. It's just when new companies come out in business, people want to see what's new. They want to hear more about it. And people just kind of like drive through that. But the reality is that we have still so much opportunity. Millennials are a huge opportunity. There's going to be some initiatives with diversity and inclusion. And I'm actually doing some stuff for the company moving up soon. I believe it's at convention that I'm doing something for them. But there's a lot of stuff coming on for diversity. So there's a lot of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people still here that just haven't heard about us. And I do the test every time I travel. Who do you work for? I work for Rodan & Fields. I don't know who they are, right? So there's just still, our awareness is only 30%. We just got to expand out of our network. If we tap our network and continue to build those networks, it takes time to build those relationships. It's not like, hey, have you heard of Rodan & Fields? No. Well, would you like to enroll today? Yeah, that's not going to happen usually, right? Like it is really like dating. You got to like take them out for coffee, talk to them, go to the park. I mean, really, it's like a date. And then slowly it would happen. I would tell you, I just have my second roommate from college that joined the business. She's been following me since I started Rodan & Fields. I had one that joined before I started working, and now one just joined last month. So 2 out of 10 of us, actually 3 out of 10 of us are with Rodan & Fields. But it took 2 years for her to join before she decided to become a consultant. So, of course, I didn't recruit her because I can't enroll anybody, but her consultant recruited her. And it takes time. There's a book that talks on how to build relationships. I can't remember the name of the book. I'm sure if you Google something will come up. But because there's so much stuff out there. But it really talks about treating everybody like it's your best friend. When you meet somebody, it's just treating them like they're your best friend, having a conversation. And, you know, I've moved so many times. I've moved 8 times in 23 years, and I always have to build new relationships. And that's what I have to do to find new friends. And so Jody Filler, she just earned her Mercedes. She's like, I joined Hot Yoga, and that's where I find all my new people. Like, I stay a little bit longer after the class instead of running out, and I make relationships with the people that go to class. So find new places for you to find new networks. And it's like I said, it's not the whole day, but maybe it's, I don't know, you take a new class. It takes time to build those communities and build new places to find people. But if you're consistent, it will happen.
Hey, Carmen, what's the awareness rate of Avon where you came?
Well, it's a global company. It's been in business for 130 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, think about, like, this is something I like to say. I mean, Mary Kay's 65 years, Arbonne 35 years. People still join those companies, right? So I like to say we're at 30%, and someone in Mary Kay's 90, most likely. I think I heard that. So someone's going to grow it from 30 to 90. Like, I'm going to be a part of that journey, you know? And there's 4,000 consultants in Kansas, but there's, 12 level 5. So instead of, when you're talking to someone, like right now it's 12 leaders, I'm on pace to be 13. Like, it's such a great time to join this business. Like, just use those numbers. They're objective. You can't argue with that.
Yeah. And I mean, and the doctor's goal is to be the #1 global skincare brand. I know they're going to do it, right? The #1 global skincare brand. We're going to announce a new country soon. I mean, it's just like, there's so much still out there that they want to get here now, you know, and I'm not telling you where, so. Or new products. I'm not saying anything because I love my job, so.
Thank you, Carmen.
All right. Okay, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Have some wine afterwards.
Bye, Carmen. Thank you.